Welcome, welcome. What is up, good people? It is Ajipa, and I have a beginner's guide to war. And the reason I'm making this video is because Marvel Core United just started Wars. It's awesome, a hell of an achievement. They built this alliance from the ground up. They've leveled it up through investments and all that good stuff. So now we need to talk about these wars, and I just want to make a beginner's intro, as well as towards the end I'm going to talk about some things that you need to know, as like maybe a shot caller, some advice, tips, as well as so that way members out there, newer players, understand what shot callers are trying to attempt, leading you through wars essentially. So, first thing you're going to do is when your alliance gets in a war, you join an alliance that's doing war. So you're going to want to come in here and find an unclaimed slot. It'll say unclaimed. Claim it, just claim it, and get it done. It's real easy to do, real quick. That way you're assigned to a room. Now you're not going to place defenses, so claiming a spot is more just, getting that spot set up so they can move you around, essentially. I guess it's not as important as it may seem, but I would definitely recommend just claiming a spot so that way everybody has their own spot. And eventually you will be doing defenses, and that way they can put you in places that they want you, right? Second thing you want to focus on is 10 attacks, 10 war attacks. And this is for your World Warrior milestone points. You get 85 points per attack. 10 attacks, 850 points per war. 3 wars a week gets you 2,550 points towards your World Warrior milestone. And your goal is to get 7,800 points a week to help your alliance grow, right? So even if you can't do that great in wars, you're at least doing your 10 attacks, so that way you're helping a World Warrior milestone. Now, your first thought is your 10 war attacks. Wars are won with attacking, not defending. So do not worry about defense early on. Most of your opponents are going to look like this. It'll say shield default, but their teams will all be this. And that's what happens when you don't put defenses in, as it's shield defaults. Again, wars are won on offense and attacking, not on defending. Defense is more of a mid to late game thing, mainly late game. You'll have more than 10 good war offense teams, and then you can put your rest of your teams on defense to hopefully slow down your opponents and make them spend some of their better attacks so you can protect your other rooms. So, first thing you need is 10 characters that are between 10,000 and 16,000 power. And there are characters at 15,000 power, like Loki, that could lose the fight, which is pretty insane, right? But I've seen it happen, so this is not a guaranteed way to win, but more than likely you will. Once you have 10 characters that are between 12 and 16,000 power, one of those characters you put into attack can actually take this down. And the reason that is because at 10,000 plus power, these guys hit them, and they only do 1 to 30 points of damage, which is nothing, considering you have thousands of HP, right? But when that 10,000 plus character hits one of these, they die. So ideally, if with AoE characters and stuff, it'll wipe out the whole enemy team in one hit. The fight's over, you won. And the reason you want to be attacking is so you get these war credits. And I'm going to show you that real quick. On offense, depending on what league you're in, you're going to earn war credits for every enemy you kill. So if you kill all 5, I would earn 150 war credits. And I do 10 of those attacks. That's 1,500 war credits, which is 5 character shards out of the war story of a character you really want or need, or it's gear. You can buy gear with these credits as well, but I recommend not buying the gear as much, mainly just focusing on character shards with your war credits and using this currency to get random drops of gold or purple or blue gear, whatever you need. So as you progress through the leagues, this payout actually gets better, and as you can see, it just goes up a little bit, so it's not a big jump, but every little bit helps, right? So you want to be getting these 10 war attacks. And a good thing to remember as well is if you go to your alliance and you look at the top 12 members, you sort it by collection power. The top 12 members should save their teams, their strongest teams, to actually beat opponents that are stronger. They shouldn't be killing as many shield defaults. Maybe 2, 3, 4 shield defaults. Saving 6 amazing war teams to actually kill something of importance. Now the bottom 12 members should focus more on shield defaults, saving, between 1 and 3 or 1 and 4 teams. Really, really strong teams that they can use to kill a stronger room is exactly what I'm doing. Early on and up till now, we've had a lot of shield default rooms because people are doing the same thing. You want to be attacking, you want to be killing enemies to score those raid credits, as well as wars are won by killing enemies. So if we clear every room, we instantly win. There's this thing about efficiency, so doing it in one attack, one kill, it actually was starting to help. And I don't know, there's war changes coming, how it's all going to work out, but it used to be a race to where whoever cleared every room first won. So that's what the big alliances did, and they set up these new rules where if you kill them more efficiently or you do it in one attack opposed to 2 attacks, you actually get more points for doing it in one attack. Efficiency, right? And that's who would win. So rushing through it wasn't always the best. Actually killing it efficiently was. So when you're a beginner and you're getting into wars, come in here and claim an empty room. There's a lot of empty slots here that aren't claimed. Definitely just claim a room. That way, once you do start placing defenses, you already have your room claimed. It's all ready to go, right? Then you want to focus on getting 10 characters between 10 and 16,000 power, making sure you can do kill shield defaults. Now, if for some reason you can't get 10 attacks in and you can't win 10 attacks, make sure you're doing your 10 attacks anyway, even if you're losing. Because win or lose, you're going to score that 84 or 85 points towards your World Warrior milestone, and it shows that you want to help your alliance, whether that's through scoring in the World Warrior milestone and unlocking more gear and loot sooner. It shows initiative, it shows commitment, and it shows that you're there to be competitive. Now, if you just do 4 or 5 attacks and quit because you can't kill nothing, you're just doing the bare minimum. You're not helping in World Warrior, you're not helping in wars because you can't kill nothing. The main theme is you're not helping. You get what I'm saying? It's a recurring theme. So definitely just get your 10 war attacks in. Real simple to do. But get those 10 characters going, getting those 10 wins, and then 10 characters will turn into 20 and 30 and eventually 50, and you'll have 10 teams of 5. So 10 solid war attacks. And that's from like your Doom Raid teams, your characters from challenges, original challenges, just different places. A big rule here is you never build a team for war. Building for war is stupid. You should never do it. If you're end game and you want to build a war team, that's fine, because you've already got all the other teams you need for like raids and all that good stuff. If you want to build a war team, go right ahead, but you should never build specifically for war. You want to make sure you're building your arena team, your Doom Raid teams, and you want to be sure that you're like building teams to beat your challenges, your original challenges. Teams will naturally form, and that's what you want to throw onto defense eventually. Once you have your 10 solid five-man teams, 10 solid teams to attack with, you put your extras on defense. And then that's just kind of how wars go from there on. Eventually you'll be improving your war defenses and such, and it'll get real competitive. By then you'll be end game, you'll completely understand it. Now when we're attacking, for shot callers out there and people that are leading their alliances, captains, leaders, all that stuff, when you see a red bullseye, it's because a leadership member put a red bullseye. So when you go in and you see the red bullseye, you want to look on both these spots right here. If it has a red spot or a red bullseye, you attack that one. You don't attack the other one if you don't have a red bullseye. It's not marked because it's not meant to be attacked. They're trying to push through to the next level. Now, if it has a yellow circle with a line through it, that means do not attack no matter what. Do not attack no matter what. That room has been declared not of importance, should never be attacked, is completely worthless, essentially. Maple, leave Willow alone. So what you want to do when you first start how to go about planning to attack rooms. You're going to go into Flight Deck 1. You're going to look for defense up or defense down. This has defense up. I don't want to go here. The reason that is because all these characters are going to have defense up. They're going to be harder to kill. But the thing is, once you get past this room, you know that engineering's underneath, because engineering gives defense up to adjacent rooms. So what that means is you're going to have to kill at least one side of this, go to the next room, and they're going to have defense up. You're going to have to kill one side of this to move down to another room where they're going to have defense up, and you're going to have to kill it. You get what I'm saying? It makes it very difficult. So you want to try to avoid that at first and kind of go the path they lead you on and take out some of these bottom rooms. Flight decks are worthless. They don't give any buffs to anything. They're only worth 10,000 points, and they just suck. You do not want to focus on killing these rooms. At the end of the war, halfway through towards the end, you can go back and mop them up if you need the kills or you can't beat anything else, okay? So I'd go to Flight Deck 2. I would look and see if it has shield or defense up or defense down. If it does not, then this is a possibility, right? And you always want to try to go down the middle generally, because when you kill a room, it unlocks both sides. And then you can see which rooms to go after. You see how you're seeing 2 rooms? Instead of if you go down the side and you kill both rooms, you'll see what's next to you and what's below you. But if you kill one room, you only see what's below you. And you want to try to push down, okay? So it's just usually smartest to go down the middle if you can. Next thing I would do is I'd look in this room, see if it has defense up or defense down. It does not, but it has another buff. So maybe avoid this, or you could go after this room too if you don't have defense up or defense down. So what that means is if you were to see defense down, its security is below it. And that's another thing. Just like with defense up, if this was security was here, you'd have to go through one side and you'd move down. And all these characters, all your attacking units would have defense down, making it them more likely to die, essentially. So you want to avoid those things. And you want to kind of go on the path that your leadership leads you on. So I would then go in and I would look for these 4 commanders' names. If there's 4 people in them, I'd go to participation. I go to my enemies roster and I find those 4 names. And I see who has the weakest collection power. Okay, and whoever has the weakest is the one we're going to go after. And the reason that being is because they're going to want to make sure they have 10 attacks, right? 10 war offenses. So most of their power is going to be on offense. Meaning they're going to have a weaker defense because they have the lowest amount of power. They kept 10 great war offenses. And they've left their defense with the extra teams. They're going to have the weakest out of all these 4 characters' defenses, essentially. So that's who we would target, and we would try to push to the next room. Our goal is to find the reactor and the bridge. Scope it out, see what kind of teams are put in these. If they're real strong, our next focus is to take down rooms that are giving these rooms buffs. So medbay, it gives everybody in every other room 20% max health to all defending war-ready allies. So if we took that down, they're going to lose 20% health, making them easier to kill in these rooms. If we take down barracks, global buff again, 20% focus and resistant to all defending allies. So they're more inclined to land negative effects on you. They're more inclined to resist negative effects you're trying to apply. But if we take these rooms out, it's taking those global buffs away. So 20% damage and armor to all defending war-ready allies. This is one of the most important rooms. This is letting our defenses have 20% more damage and armor, which is just like survivability, right? It's blocking all that damage. It's making them a lot tankier. It's making them a lot better, and it's making them hit harder. So this is making our bridge and our reactor that much stronger. So we do not care about flight decks. Follow the markers, the red bullseyes, and take out these extra rooms. It's still 10,000 points, but it's also getting rid of that buff on all these other rooms. It's making it a lot easier. So when you see things with a yellow circle and a line through it, don't even click on the room. The room has been blocked off. If you click on it and attack, you're just basically saying, you know what, I don't care what you're saying, leadership, I'm just going to do what I want. Do not go in there and attack. If you see a red bullseye on, let's say, this room, you want to go in and see if there's a red bullseye here or here. Sometimes it'll be on both, meaning your leadership wants to kill both rooms. When the war starts, it shouldn't be on both, okay? It should be on the weakest of the 2 rooms, one red bullseye, and you want to focus that. And again, that's so you can move to the next floor and start working on actual rooms that are of value. Actual targets that you really need to kill, as opposed to these worthless flight decks, okay? So definitely those are just tips. Follow them. And if you see a room that has no bullseye or no yellow symbol, essentially what that means is if you're not strong enough to kill a team in the marked room, like let's say this had a bullseye and you couldn't kill this team with your 1 character or 2 characters, and you couldn't kill any of the options, right? You would then go over to a room that's not marked yellow or red and look for a team that you can kill, okay? That's the only reason you'd want to do that. If it's marked yellow with a line through it on the room, do not attack it no matter what. Okay, that's what your leadership is trying to tell you. Alright, so that's the gist of it. Come in and claim a defensive room. Focus on getting 10 characters up to 10 to 16,000 power. So that way you can get 10 war offense wins. And then your teams will naturally build out for other game modes. And you'll be able to use them in war. Do not build a team to do an attack. Do not build a team to defend a room, okay? And those are my best tips moving forward. All right. I'm going to, at the end here, I want to kind of point out World Warrior Milestone. That's all I got for war tips, but World Warrior Milestone is a way of saying, as a newer player or a weaker member, that you care about the Alliance and you're doing your best to help them unlock these milestones. Even if it's not necessary because you have members that are going way above and beyond. You know what I mean? Showing their level of commitment and activity. They're very active. They're playing. They're further in the game. They have more blitz teams. You can score your 7,800 points real easy. And I'm going to point this out here. So you're going to do 3 Alliance Wars a week. And it's 850 points for 10 attacks. Take this times 10. So you're going to get 30 war attacks a week. That's 2,500 points. 2,550. Let's call it 2,500. Now you're going to battle in the arena every day 5 times. Times 7 days. That's 35 times 85. So 30 times 85 we know is 2,500. 5 times 85 is another, I don't know. 85 times 5 is 4. Why is my brain not working today? 85 times 5. That is like really simple, right? Simple math. 85 times 35 attacks equals 2,975. So 3,000 points. So if you do your 5 arena attacks and your 30 Alliance War attacks, you're now at 5,500 points. You only need 2,300 more. And if you're joining both raids and you're doing 5 attacks in each, that's 150 points for each raid each day. That's 300 points a day times 7 days. That's another 2,100 points. And we only needed 23. So right there, just doing your blitz, your arena, and your war, you've already hit the 7,800 points. And if you're not hitting 7,800 points, it's because you're not doing these simple things. It's saying you're not, you're not pushing hard. You're not doing the simple little things to be competitive for your alliance. On top of that, every blitz you win, you're getting 10 points. If it's simmed, you're getting 9 points. And I have 15 teams. So I win 10 or 12 out of 15 fights every day, giving me an extra 100 and some points, right? So you just got to bear that in mind. It's you're not blitzing, you're not raiding, you're not doing arena, you're not doing war tax, you're not doing something to be active in the game. And if you're not scoring 7,800 points, you're probably not a very good alliance member at that point. And I hate to say that, but I will say in Marvel Core United, in a newer alliance that's not able to do wars yet because we didn't level up our alliance yet, that's 2,550 points. That's harder to score. You have to make that up through blitzing or some other manner, essentially blitzing, and that's hard to do as a new player. So once wars are unlocked and you're able to do 10 war attacks, there's no reason you should not be able to score 7,800 points. And if you're not, it just means you're not being active and helping your alliance. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the bare minimum and playing other games. You're doing the bare minimum just to get rewards and resources, and you're being drug along, essentially. You're not going above and beyond. You're not even doing the bare minimum of 7,800 points. It just doesn't look good, right? So that's something else to bear in mind as well. And that's, personally as a leader, that's what I watch and focus on, because I don't need to watch to see that you're in raids every day. If you're scoring 7,800 points, more than likely you are. And if you're not participating in raids, then you're not going to score 7,800 points. You know what I'm saying? So just bear that in mind. It just says how committed you are to the alliance and what it actually means, what the alliance means to you, how much respect you have for your other members, especially these ones that are going above and beyond and scoring all these points. You're basically saying, hey, carry me along. I don't give a shit. I'll let you do all the work, right? So just bear that in mind. That's the image you're projecting, even if that's not your intention, okay? But I wanted to point that out, and I want to talk about a war. So I hope Marvel Core United has a ton of fun. Wars are so much fun. We haven't lost in Marvel Core yet, and it's because there's so many dead alliances at first, and then the ones that we are fighting, they don't have 24 active members. And if we have 24 active members that are attacking 10 times, we're going to win, as opposed to 7 or 8 strong guys that each do 10 attacks. We're out attacking them, right? So just bear that in mind. That's how wars are won. And they're a lot of fun. So go have fun, Marvel Core United. And everybody else that's watching this, that's a new player, wars are a ton of fun. Just don't build teams for it. It's not worth it. Teams will come naturally. If you start building teams for Alliance War, your raid teams are going to start to fall behind. And you're not going to be competitive in these. And then you won't be able to focus on like your Dark Dimension as well. Things like that. You know what I mean? These War and Cosmic Crucible will come together naturally. I promise you. Use teams that you've built for other game modes like raids and stuff to do these. Alright, much love. I hope you all have a wonderful day and kick some ass in War tonight. Marvel Core United. We'll see you all in the next video.